What's up guys, and welcome to the vlog. Today we got some more LMR parts. Guys, so our friends at LMR sent us another part. This was something that I asked for not too long ago, and that we finally got it in. So let's go ahead and get this thing open. So we finally got an aluminum radiator. This is something that you guys have been asking for a while, so figured we'd go ahead and get one. See what we're working with. And there we go. Good looking radiator, but that's not why you buy these, let's be honest. You know, I talked with Tyler at LMR and this is what we come up with. So as always, there'll be a link down in the description if you'd like to purchase this radiator. So I guess we'll go ahead real quick while we're talking about it and discuss the new link that we have. So LMR has hooked me up with a new link for the channel, and it is a link to their homepage. So now you can go in to the homepage, order whatever you want. Now I don't make any money off this, but what this does is just put traffic through their site from my channel. So it shows that you guys are participating and you're supporting me. Give you a little pro tip. All you got to do is click the homepage link down here that I provide for you and just add it to your favorites. There you go. Anytime you ever need anything from LMR, if you would, just use that link. Well, all right guys, that's enough of that. These are for manual or automatic. All we're gonna do is plug these holes here because we do not have an automatic car. And essentially if you did, you'd have one line come in, one line go out, no big deal. So these will work for an automatic or a manual. We're gonna go ahead, get the Foxbody torn apart, get the radiator out of it. So first things first, what you're gonna wanna do is take off your fan, and those are going to be 11 millimeter. That's a 10. There we go. The other side's 11. So these are 11. You want to leave your belt on. So this is always one of the first things that I do. I go ahead and get this out of the way. So once you get all 4 of these bolts out, you're going to take these off and you're going to lift this fan shroud up with the fan all at one time. I'll show you guys that process in just a minute. Hey baby, is the red light on?
No.
Yes it is.
Oh, yes it is.
Now you see the fan shroud is basically ready to come out. I still don't have all the bolts out of the water pump, but when I do, you can see how it'll all come up together. Now you could go ahead and unbolt the radiator and pull the radiator and the shroud, everything up at one time. But that's a little cumbersome, so what we're going to do is just go ahead, like I said, pull the fan shroud out with the fan. Putting this back in can be somewhat of a chore, just so you guys know. We are ready to pull everything out now, so all the bolts are out of the water pump. So you want to go ahead, just make sure you disconnect everything. So here's your fan shroud and your fan. So that's what it all looks like. Fan's in pretty good shape. Clutch looks pretty good. It's a good time to go ahead and inspect everything while you're here. Make sure your tank's not cracked, which actually mine is. But make sure everything's good to go. Like I said before, this is actually a really easy job. See, once you get this out of the way, you've got all the room in the world that you need to work. We are almost done getting this radiator out. See how easy this is? Just using simple tools here. I'm not going to use any air, not going to use any electric stuff, any battery powered stuff. We're just going to kind of keep it real tonight. This is a very simple job, and you can do this with like 3 or 4 different tools. This thing is ready to come out, guys. Look at that. We're done. This thing's out. See how simple that was? So we're going to go ahead and test fit the radiator. So I'm not going to worry about hooking everything up right this second. We're just going to kind of drop her on in here. Get it down in your mounts. Everything looks to line up good. I'm gonna go ahead and pull it back out though. I'm gonna go ahead and pull the radiator out so that we can get these holes plugged up. But before we do that, here's a side-by-side comparison of the two radiators. Look at the different cores. Look at this here. So see how this radiator is really small here, and you have all this wasted space with the tank? Now look at this radiator. This one's solid all the way across. This has more cores than that radiator. You can see there's a massive difference between the cooling capability of these two radiators. So once again, there's your difference right there. Yeah, so we can just reuse these. So all we're gonna do is just plug these in, pop our caps off, and get this thing dropped in. These top brackets actually fit this radiator better than they fit the stock radiator. They're specifically designed so that these can cup it. Look at that, fits perfect. That is very impressive actually. All of that was very easy to do. This next part is not always that easy, guys, which is putting everything back in, putting the fan and the shroud back on. You could at this point go to an electric fan or electric fans. I personally don't like those. I know a lot of you guys do, and that's fine. I'm just not an electric fan guy. So I always just kind of squirt a little WD-40 up in here. I know a lot of you, would use Loctite and not do this, but I've never had one bolt come out of this water pump fully doing it this way. So it just makes it easier to thread in by hand and go ahead and get them started. So I just shoot a little bit in there, should be good to go. Okay, so I don't know if you guys can see this or not, but you don't want to forget your little tabs here that go on the bottom. So I had to actually put these on from underneath, but that's okay, no big deal. Okay, so now that we got the clips on, what we can do is go ahead and bolt this fan shroud down. So I'm going to go ahead and finish tightening everything up. This is the gist of it. All we got to do is tighten everything up, add some water, and burp the system. So I'll go ahead and finish this up, and then I'll get back to you, show you how I burp the system. I'll let the car idle, and we're going to go ahead and start filling it up with water. Okay, so this car is on a slight incline. It's not very much, but it should be enough to burp the car. For right now, all you're going to do is pack the radiator full of water, let it run until it gets up to temperature, and it'll start to hopefully release air. Go ahead and fill your overflow up, and I will cap that back off. Let's talk a little bit about the burping process. So I've actually just filled it back up, but as you can see, the water's starting to kind of bubble out. During the burping process, what you're doing is you're actually just filling up the radiator with water initially when the car is cold. Once the car gets up to temperature, the thermostat will open, which is what it's trying to do right now. Once that thermostat opens, it's going to release air out of the system and also let this water flow into the block of the car. So therefore, you're going to lose water in your radiator, and you're going to have to add more water. But you can see the air bubbles coming out. That's what we want. We definitely want all the air to come out of this system. What you're going to do is repeat this process a few times until the car no longer loses any water whenever the thermostat opens. That's the whole process. But bubbles right now are good. Typically bubbles in your radiator are not good, but it's really good when you're trying to burp it and get all the air out. But as you can see, it's starting to push up a little bit. That thermostat will open here in just a minute, and it'll suck all that water down. See the water level going down? So what we're going to do now is just go ahead, add some more water until it's full again. Now this process could take you 30 minutes, it could take you 20 minutes, it could take you an hour. I don't know, it just all depends on how much air is in your system and how much water you lost in your block. But that's the process. Just fill your radiator up, let it run until the thermostat opens, or the water level will drop in your radiator. At some point it will stop lowering, and you'll just see the water circulating inside of the radiator. And there you go, you have a fully burped system. All right guys, we'll catch you in the morning. We'll take the car out, we'll check everything, make sure it's running cool, and we'll close this video out. So it is the next day. We've got the car out here idling, trying to get the temperature up so that we can make sure everything is good on the car. It's loud out here today, by the way. That is a good looking radiator. Like I said before, in the video, I am so impressed with how this thing fit. I'll go ahead and take the cap off just so we can see what we're working with. So we're full there. So I want to give a big shout out to LMR. Thank you so much for sending the radiator. This was something that you guys asked for, and LMR responded. They sent this radiator to me for free so that we could use on the channel for review. If you guys are interested in keeping this content flowing, be sure to use one of the links below, either the link to the radiator or to the home page. All right, we're gonna let this thing warm up, let it get up to temp, and once it does, we'll go ahead, we'll put the head mount back on, we'll take her for a ride. Oh, by the way, leave a comment down below if you enjoyed the head mount video or if it needs to go. Let's go for a ride. Also, I guess I'll go ahead and remind you guys that LMR just come out with a black radiator, a black version of what we have. So if you guys are interested in a black aluminum radiator, SVE also offers that, which is sold through, of course, LMR. Okay, so what are my final thoughts on this radiator? Well, I think the fit and finish are great on it. The radiator fits really good in the car. In my opinion, it fits better than the stock radiator just because of the tabs. It just holds in there really tight. I drove the car for probably 20 minutes. I beat on it a little bit. You know, the temperature stayed normal. So, you know, I have nothing but good things to say about this. A very quick and easy install. If you guys want a good radiator to help keep your car cool, especially if you've got a modified car, this is going to be the radiator for you. All right, that's going to wind this video up. And as always, thanks for watching.